Hi, what we're going to do today is talk a little bit about a palette for acrylic paint that will keep your acrylic paints very workable for a while. It's adapted from the Art to Life, Nicholas Wilton's Art to Life group, and they have come up with this palette, and I've made a few minor adjustments, and I think it's going to be helpful. So thank you, Nicholas, and thank you for listening. So what we're doing here is we're taking a cafeteria tray. I got these on Amazon, and this is a smaller size. They do come a little bit bigger, and you can choose that. But for my needs, this works out. And you're going to lay down 2 layers of like a Viva paper towel just on one of them. And then you take water, just plain old water, and you're going to saturate this whole area so that all of the paper towel is damp. Pretty much wet. And as soon as you feel it's mostly saturated, then you are going to just pour off the excess water, as I have done here. Kind of flatten this out. And on top of that, you take 1 piece of tracing paper, and you lay the tracing paper down on top of this damp double thickness paper towel and flatten it out. And actually this becomes your working palette. Now, and you can feel it's cool and it's damp, but it's not wet, and it will not get wet unless you spray it with water. Put some water on there. Now what you do is you go ahead and you put your paint on the right here on that damp palette. And I'm just going to do this to give you an idea. I work on a limited palette, so actually being able to just put minimal amounts of paint works pretty well for me. And so you have your paint right here on the palette. Now you can choose to actually use this area of the palette to mix your paint on. And I have just an example of that right here, where I've mixed the paint. And you can put little groups of paints that you're going to use in your painting right to the side, or you can use a paper palette and put out more paints if you so choose. This will work very well for your whole painting session. If you want to take a break and go to lunch, you basically take a second tray, just put it on top, walk away, come back, and this is really kept in the dampness without making the paint watery. Now, if you're done for the day and you want to hold on to this paint and anything that you've mixed right here, you keep that on there, and you just take a 2.5 gallon bag. You slide this in, and again, you don't want it too wet. You don't want water dripping out, but it's going to stay damp. Zip lock it closed, and maybe have a little air section there, a little open. And you come back tomorrow. This is going to be just like you left it today. Very workable. I worked with the same palette for up to over a week to 2 weeks, actually. One thing, if you do keep it closed up for several days at a time, you want to probably check it. There could be some mold. So make sure that you actually open it from time to time and just make sure everything's okay. And sometimes if I've gone 2 weeks out, of course, the paper towels underneath will get a little bit on the dry side. And what I have done, if I can, and typically it works pretty well, is I will just lift up the tracing paper, and even if you have paint on there, you can just lift it up and do like half of it here. Add some more water, put it back down, and make sure it's not puddling up too much. Pour off the excess water, and then keep it damp for a while longer. So I hope you find this helpful. And again, thanks for listening.